Jujutsu Kaisen Chapter 216 is here, and oh boy, it is a juicer chapter. Ryu fanboys, I'm sorry, your boy isn't looking good right now. But you know what is looking good? That subscribe button down below. You should probably hit that. Chapter opens up with a gorgeous page of Sukuna falling deeper into the path, and it's been teased for us for weeks now, and honestly, it feels really weird to actually see it on the screen finally. We even get some bath lore here as we see Urumi and Kenjaku talking to Urumi and asking Kenjaku if he plans on ending the Culling game, with Kenjaku telling Urumi that his great major of mankind and Tengen can't actually happen until after the Culling game ends itself. And now maybe I'm missing something here, but what if Kenjaku is actually the game master all along? This man has the power to end the games here, and Urumi even states that he's the one who designed it to go on like this. So for me personally, this could be taken in two ways. Number one, Kenjaku was the OG creator of the Culling games way back when. And number two, Kenjaku is actually the Culling games master right now, but he has lied about it instead to keep his cover basically. Because we also find out that Kenjaku is under a binding vow. And it's not stated who this vow is with, but he states that this binding vow is to eventually end the never-ending game, which is insanely interesting. And if I had to bet on it, I would say that this vow was with Sukuna. We all know Sukuna loves to fight. That dude is the epitome of Black Air Force energy. So it's reasonable to me that he would enter a binding vow with Kenjaku to ensure that these games can be created for as long as possible and whenever he deems necessary. And it's just took Kenjaku this long to be actually figure out how to actually end the Culling game ritual. And again, I could be missing something here, so I might need to go back and reread it, but that is my theory as it stands right now. I also just want to say that I'm actually heavily invested in the relationship between Kenjaku, Urumi, and Sukuna here. The way that they all interact is actually properly amusing to me right now. It's just a bunch of happy-go-lucky sorcerers who would also happen to have each individually been involved in some of the most heinous crimes known to the race. But we get more lore from Urumi and Kenjaku, with Kenjaku stating that he knew the path was originally used as a ritual to transform vessels and treasured family heirlooms into cursed tools in order to protect them from outsiders, and that a solution of cursed energy is created by grinding and straining organisms chosen in the Kodoku ritual, and that the vessel is marinated for 10 months and 10 days. And this is where we see Kenjaku realizes that they're actually using cursed spirits here, and we get more lore on cursed spirits, with Urumi goes on to say that when a cursed spirit is killed, they become dust thanks to the disappearance reaction. So Urumi figured out that if they pinned down a spirit carefully, they could basically tear out the insides and she'd be able to use it for the soup that Sukuna is currently just bubbling in right now. Kenjaku, obviously being the curious mind that he is, asks what exactly is the purpose of this, and Urumi responds with, "Get closer to evil." And they go on to explain how this ritual is needed to push the soul of Megumi Fushiguro down further into the depths of darkness. And if I had to guess, I'd say that the soul can never truly be rid of from a body. We saw evidence of this in Shibuya with Geto coming back momentarily to try and choke out Kenjaku, and now with Sukuna in the previous chapters with Megumi suppressing him. My theory is that a soul will never die so long as the body is intact, basically. Once the body is destroyed, that is when the soul is also destroyed, because Kenjaku did say that the body is the soul and the soul the body. So I would like to dive further into this subject in maybe a separate video, so give me some time to cook on that one and iron out all the theory differences here. But Sukuna ends up emerging from the bath, and the resemblance from him in Megumi's body to Toji Zenin right here is actually insane. And Kenjaku goes on to ask if he's okay with keeping that face, with Sukuna replying that if he's going to be fighting sorcerers, it's better to maintain this kind of appearance. My theory here is that Sukuna will return to his original state with 4 arms and 2 forms and 2 faces. I think he can do that at will, Dragon Ball Z style, the same as what Armcaps has just said on Twitter. I literally have the same exact theory as this dude. We saw glimpses of him mutating like this when he attacked Angel, and I'd be willing to bet that he can go back to that form when and if he needs to, but he's just not doing it because sorcerers from this modern day and era just might freak them out. I don't know why, what his reasoning is behind it, but that's my theory on it anyway. But Sukuna goes on to ask Kogane where Sumiki Fushiguro is. Kogane tells him that she's actually in Sendai, and this is where we get a bit of a bombshell here. Yorozu is actually a dude. Yeah, Kenjaku confirms this when he says, didn't he send you an invitation to fight? And this also proves a theory that I had out about Kogane. Kogane only registers the original player that is inside of the Culling games and not the current person within that host. For example, Yorozu has taken over Sumiki's body. However, Kogane still refers to Sumiki as Sumiki, even though we as the audience know that this is actually Yorozu inside of her body. And the same applies for Sukuna and Megumi Fushiguro right now. Kenjaku then goes on to kind of ridicule both Urumi and Sukuna on the actions of Yorozu, saying how it'd be a no-brainer for them to go and visit their hometown after 1,000 years. Just turns out that their hometown was actually inside of the colonies here, and Urumi responds with, how do you have the gall to run your mouth like that? With Sukuna in the background looking like an actual disappointed father telling them both enough. Like, shut up, basically. In the nicest way Sukuna can say that is shut up, basically. And I actually really do enjoy this dynamic between Urumi and Kenjaku right now, with Sukuna's like this, I don't know, bigger brother figure, I don't know. But Kenjaku goes on to say how he didn't think Sukuna would pay him any attention when he's referring to Yorozu here, as it's always been a one-sided crush from Yorozu to him, with Sukuna going on to say how he doesn't care about Yorozu, he just needs the vessel of Sumiki. So I'm actually, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure Yorozu is now our first confirmed gay or potentially bisexual character in the series, which I think is actually fucking incredible. Sukuna then goes on to say that once he's destroyed Sumiki, Megumi's soul will be completely sunk forever down within him. And Kenjaku goes on to say how give Sukuna a ride where Sumiki is, but in exchange he wants the points that Megumi had acquired, which again, Kenjaku still has obviously more plans up his sleeves, and I suppose we'll just have to wait and see what the brain has in store for us, because right now he is planning something malicious, I can feel it. But this is where the chapter ramps. But we cut over to Ryu Ishigori and Uro Takako here, who can sense the presence of Sukuna drawing closer and approaching them, and it seems that they both recognize the aura and cursed energy, basically, with Ryu saying it's way too sweet, and Uro saying how he's here, and then names him by the king of curses, and she is rightfully so. She is terrified right now. Sukuna appears in front of Ryu, and he asks if he's gonna scram or not, and then before Ryu can even react, he's been sliced down his chest, and Sukuna is impressed that he tanked it, and Sukuna wanted to cut him into 3 little pieces here, and he then goes on to say how he took Ryu too lightly, and in the next one he will not hold back. And I just know power scale and Jujutsu Kaisen fans right now are actually in shambles off this little exchange here right now. But before Ryu can again even charge up a granite blast, Sukuna cuts his man's head in 3, eliminating Ryu completely. But I also do want to point out that Kogane does not deliver the points from Ryu's death, supposedly, to Megumi's points balance, which I think is an interesting detail. It could be a mistake from Gege, or it could have been there intentionally. But either way, Ryu fans, I'm sorry, your boy just got no diff. He got packed up, unfortunately. But it also doesn't stop right here. Right after this, Sukuna comes face to face with Yorozu, who is in a stadium, and it seems to set the stage for their battle. And it's nice to know that we aren't on a break this week either, with them two coming face to face here. I'm very, very excited to see that fight all plan out. But that is everything from me in this video. Before we go, I did just want to say thank you to everyone who reached out over the past couple of days. If you didn't know, my mum passed away a couple of days ago, and my life has been an absolute freefall since, while I'm just trying to deal with everything that's going on. So I do truly appreciate everyone's condolences and the well wishes and everything. And I've said this now a few times. I do want to continue uploading because it's the only thing that I have control over right now. It's the only thing I can do consistently. It's something that I love doing, and I know for a fact my mum wouldn't want me putting my life on hold for her or for any sort of thing like this. So truly, thank you so much from the fucking bottom of my heart for everyone's support. It really does mean a lot. But if the uploads are a bit sporadic and all over the place at the moment and not as frequent as normal, please do keep that in mind. But yeah, appreciate you all. Thank you so much for being here. I'll catch you guys all in the next one. Love.